guys. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. Dev wandered away for a minute, and AR's not here yet, so you get to listen to me and no one for a moment until Dev pops back. We will be starting in just a few minutes. There's been a lot of news, and we're all very tired. I believe Dev is getting her drink. How has the last few weeks been for everyone in chat while you wait? Let's see here. All my cards. And I believe I hear Dev popping back in. And,
Against my will.
and now they can hear you, Dev. So say a few words and we can confirm they can hear you. And we will start once AR is here.
I am suffering from sleepy bitch disease.
Let's see. Ian is recovering from COVID, and Jordan had a video interview for a job. Hope both are going well for both of you.
You're not allowed to die.
I have the same advice for both of you. Drink plenty of fluids and get plenty of rest. That's the same. Whether you were sick or...
Honestly, Pedialyte is awesome.
Nah, I down water like a motherfucker. Just guzzling way too much water.
Yeah, usually I get pretty fucked up because everything affects my stomach, so all the electrolytes, just down that shit.
Do you know the company actually made Brondo?
I'm not sure what that is.
Brondo was from a movie where everyone just drank Brondo because it has electrolytes.
Huh.
In the movie, a guy ends up being frozen, and he ends up being in a world where everyone's stupid. And part of it...
Wait, is that the one where they're like watering the plants
Yes.
with Gatorade
Yeah.
or some shit?
No, they're watering it with Brondo because Brondo has electrolytes, which is what plants crave.
I always thought it was Gatorade.
No, Brondo. Brondo, the thirst mutilator. It's got electrolytes. They actually started to make the fucking fake drink. That the entire point was everyone was so stupid they were having it instead of water. Yeah.
God, now I just have like all the videos like power thirst.
Yeah.
Stuck in my head.
Yeah. We'll get started, everyone, once AR is here. Or if we know, yeah, AR should be around in a minute or two. But yes, they were watering stuff with Brondo and wondering why it wasn't working because it has what plants crave. And I believe the company that made it, I believe the company themselves had a license name, and I believe they called themselves Omni Consumer Products. Yeah, I like how you 100% knew. Oh, it is Omni Consumer Products. I found the website, Dev.
Ooh,
Literally all they make is real products of stupid stuff you saw in movies.
Sounds like it would be fun.
So, Sex Panther cologne from Anchorman. Oh, George, or how about this for a perfume?
Oh
From
my.
from George Takei. Oh my. Fight Club
I love
soap.
that.
True Blood. Stay Puft Marshmallows. But yes, that is what this company makes. Is they license brand stuff from movies and TV shows and just make it.
That is fun.
And their slogan is "The future of yesterday, today."
That's a fucking delight.
Let's go ahead and start. AR can join us once he's here, and we'll just wait to talk about Seekers. Okay?
Woo-hoo.
Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark Run with the Will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I am DevQ and I am here, and AR Pulver is not.
AR will be here shortly. We were kind of stretching the pre-show. We might as well just do that during the show, and then we'll talk about Seekers once AR gets here. We were talking about the real-life licensed Omni Consumer Products, the brand from RoboCop, which is a licensed brand in real life that makes movie products. We were going through their entire catalog and laughing at the ludicrousness of stuff like George Takei's Oh My perfume.
Oh, I see you guys didn't start talking about anything yet.
Oh yeah, we at first we were talking about stupid stuff. Then we went, oh, we should start the show, but also talk about stupid stuff until AR gets here. So we did
Speaking of
that for.
stupid stuff, it seems like you'd be sold on Think Geek, but it doesn't exist anymore.
No, in fact, I don't know if you were on the show or not or yet. During their going out of business sale, I got a 1/6 scale Captain Picard. I don't remember if
I
you were on
got
the show at
a
that point.
giant. I don't remember, but I got a giant Boo beanbag chair.
Oh, that's lovely.
Okay, AR, before we start, do you want to do your intro?
No, I figured you'd already be talking about something, so I was gonna
Yep.
jump in. It figures I'd be late to the one where we're talking about a Seekers post I actually liked.
Yeah, there's actually. Let's go ahead and talk about Seekers. First, we have
Rest in
211.
fucking pieces.
First, we have 211, which is very standard, too much exposition Seekers.
It was, but given what was happening, I
Well,
liked.
here's the issue I have. It feels like it's a 90-second anime scene where it just keeps stopping to go, and the darkness overtook him.
But
He
I
did.
liked that.
No, but
I
here's the
here
problem. It feels like more needs to happen, and it was long, and then the more interesting parts after, which that could have been like a cool end to a chapter. Instead, it's alone, and 211 just kind of like everything's bogged out because it keeps stopping to clarify stuff, and then like it's trying to fit in every bit of character exposition that it skipped over earlier in the chapter to deal with them sniping at each other instead.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, that part might
Yeah.
have been restructured a little better, but I did like the more diving into what happens during that process, because the idea of a dark evolution during a mind blink is actually pretty fascinating, and just getting the mindset in a narrative format over during a dark evolution,
I'm
I'm down
torn.
with that.
I'm torn because for most of it, it's just he's in an Iron Man suit and the Iron Man suit is off, but he can kind of hear something happening outside.
Yeah, it's just
A lot of it was just I don't know, something's wrong. I'm getting no information, but I can definitely hear someone beating the shit out of Pulsemon and maybe Leon. Is how it. There was some cool stuff there, but a lot of it was just like we're doing this cool thing. And I actually kind of liked that they didn't go for the obvious thing of like alarms going off and it being loud, and instead it was very quiet and everything just didn't
Yeah,
make sense. That
yeah,
I liked, but the problem is it's not a very exciting framing, especially when we have Eiji, who's kind of like the most boring protagonist character there is. Like shit's
yeah,
going wrong,
he's not
shit's
doing
going
much.
this,
wrong, and he's kind of like, man, the lights are off. I hope
yeah.
everything's okay. What's the,
I
is
got,
that? Is that?
I
Is
got a I thought he was. I thought it was a little more frantic than that,
it felt
but
more frantic towards the
not
end.
necessarily more frantic than he already gets when he gets excited something. But he definitely reacted.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
yeah. And then 2
I want to pet the puppy.
2-12 is where it's slightly more interesting to me personally, because 2
God,
1
Leon's so fucking
I
stupid.
was just you paused. I almost just inserted it. You liked it because Omegamon was in it.
no, because Omegamon doesn't do anything that requires Omegamon.
No, absolutely
Like
not.
like this could be, and this could literally be Agumon Hakase shows up and just like struts in. It does not. There's no actual Omegamon in the
Yeah,
sense of
I
he
would have.
doesn't do any attacks or anything. They're worried he will do attacks, but basically it's just powerful Digimons there, and oh no, horrible stuff has to happen so
Oh,
the
you're in
protagonist doesn't die.
trouble now.
Yeah, like if Omegamon did cool shit, I'd be like, Omegamon did some neat stuff. Anyone could have been this. This does not require Omegamon, at least minus that. You have to have it be Omegamon because nothing else is happening in Seekers that's worth it.
I just
Yeah.
I just
well,
like
maybe we can
the general of
maybe we can milk
impression of
another
oh,
figure from there.
daddy's here.
Like this, like if this were Dukemon, if this were Omega Shoutmon, if this were Magmon, there would be absolutely no difference outside of they wouldn't have gone. The sword says blank. Instead, it would have just been he had golden armor, which energized. they're
They should have used Duffmon. It's
like it,
who the hell is this guy again?
Give Duftmon something to do.
like Omegamon is there because that makes it the most exciting thing generically to the potential audience out of everything that's happened in Seekers so far. Is you get the evil evolution in one segment, and then the final segment for the chapters, Omegamon shows up, and then we're supposed to wink wink believe Leon's dead now when really he's just in the digital world.
There'll be a Seekers branded Omegamon model kit now.
To be fair, that one's coming out soon. Remember, they're doing the recolor, and doesn't the recolor have like a green platform? Green like the electricity of Kazuchimon. They knew all along. But yeah, honestly, for an ending segment, it was solid. It was short, which helps. It basically just frames the end part. I think it probably would have worked better as part of 211, honestly. But I also understand why they didn't, because they have it do the evil evolution shows up, Omegamon shows up at the end, and then you get to go cliffhanger. And then the cliffhanger is just Omegamon stands there while Kazuchimon tries to keep him from moving, and then they both get swallowed up into Tron.
Yeah, it's 11 is
Rest
what
in peace,
happens.
Leon.
11 is what happens to Lugermon. 12 is what happens to Leon Pulsemon. Is how I framed that.
Yeah.
You were my best friend.
It would be. Here's the thing. I'm torn on this one because one, I give credit to them for understanding that they can't wink and go, and Leon's definitely alive. But also, like, the whole framing of Leon's gone also makes you go, come on, we know what's going on here. Like,
yeah.
I'm
but
torn.
it's still he still got dragged somewhere, and that's a thing. It's enough.
Yeah.
I appreciate that Seekers at least realized that they had to do something big.
Yeah, I'm just torn in the sense of they played it very straight, which is nice that they don't keep winking. Oh, Leon's gone somewhere. Wink, wink, wink. But also like playing it straight is a bit easy's not the right word. But like we know Leon's not gone.
I mean, no, but you have to pretend for the sake of the narrative. Just you have to take that somewhat seriously.
It definitely helps the narrative because it means now they've gotten rid of the one ultimate we know of for sure. Or the one mega we know of for sure, / ultimate, whichever level name you're using. Because
the Shadow Realm.
Because battle wise, that was terrible framing because anytime you're gonna have those two face off, Leon is just too ahead of AG at this point for it to work. So getting rid of him for now is actually smart. So yeah.
It also forces Leon to do some soul searching, I hope. Like that hopefully instills some sort of a character reaction in him. Like he's gonna do like I hope he does something different now.
He's gonna hit on the girl more.
Oh God, isn't he?
Like my best friend died.
No, it's gonna no. Here's what it's gonna be, and I'm not 100% sure of this, but it feels like where the story would go. He goes, Leon died. Leon was scared of life because of what happened. I need to live for both of us, so I'm gonna go ask her out on a date. And then Lugamon's gonna saunter up, and she's gonna go, "Oh, I'd love to walk you and the dog." And then he just goes off sadly as Lugamon doesn't understand why he's sad.
That or he hits on Marvin and some of the SOC members a little bit more.
But yeah,
that or he goes full furry and
chapter
takes
2
Lugamon on a date.
Chapter 2 ended well, although now they actually do owe us Omegamon actually doing something relevant at some point.
Oh, good luck with that. Actually, is this going to be interesting because with the SOC because Leon, that's technically like AG absolutely crushed it in his mission, and the SOC is going to be super impressed with him.
Yeah,
now.
like
hey, Leon, awesome, great job,
like that's
high
the thing. Yeah, Judge and his Digimon are just gone.
Yeah,
the only people who actually know what happened are Leon, AG, and that's it.
Yeah, SOC is going to just be like making a note here, huge success.
Yeah. And he doesn't even have an ultimate level Digimon, and they know Judge does, which looks more impressive. It means he had to have outsmarted him somehow.
AG's just gonna Mr. Magoo himself to like the top of the SOC pyramid, just accidentally succeeding every mission he gets
God.
in the stupidest way possible.
And
Just
then
tripping his way upward.
God bless that even with a good chapter ending, the information that they give us on Digimon Web about Chapter 3 is basically incomprehensible. To the point that there's 3 different conclusions you can take. Okay, are you ready? Next time it's an intermission before the new chapter, we will release it on September 16th at 7 p.m. Then the new chapter will begin the week after next. So there's 3 possibilities. 1, this is all gobbledygook and Chapter 3 starts next week. I don't believe that's happening.
Next week's a beach episode.
Number 2, nothing is happening next week, but they're so used to doing the week time that they put the time in the post anyways by mistake. Or 3, there's some sort of intermission chapter next week.
Recap. We're gonna get a recap episode.
Good. They're gonna give us a chapter full. They're gonna give us a chapter 2-X full of exposition that we just heard.
Gonna explain. They're gonna have highlights of all the best explanations.
Yeah. Then we got 2 different batches of fan art for Seekers, and
I didn't
then
get a chance to look at those.
And then we have 2 chapters of Dreamers. Chapter 11, we get a non-battle. The adventure begins, and I just like how they're no longer treating the partial evolution as special. It's just what Pulsemon does because of the curse.
That's his thing. Yeah. He's just gonna go with it.
And then chapter 2-12, just chapter 12, we get. It's just a chapter full of Wizardmon and Pulsemon shenanigans. And then also,
it really is. It's supposed to be like the start of like this big arc, and it's just them.
And then the best
absolute
part, the best part, the thing at the end is like, if it were anyone but Yabuno, you go, oh, it's menacing to have Dagomon appear out of the water like that. And no, it's happened multiple times. It's supposed to be menacing. It's just, oh, we've seen this before. His art really does it's just amazing how good it is.
It's a fucking delight at all times.
And then the thing we all love to talk about, I'm sure, is forum upgrades.
Yay, admin.
No one needs to... it doesn't happen a lot. It happens a few times a year. People are like, are you going to do it with the Will app? Or will you add X to the forum to make an app? It's like, I don't want to use any of the plugins because I don't want people just swallowing up people's data and stuff. Like, remember when everyone would try to put Tapatalk on forums? And their terms...
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Tapatalk was this forum plugin that then on an app, you could have a full native app for any forum just by going to this one app. And it enhanced search and stuff. But also as part of the terms, it was like, they get to clone everything on your forum for whatever they want.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah. So finally, all the progressive web stuff works in basically every operating system now, so you can just install the forum as an app on your own. You have native notifications if you want it to. It just works as if it were an app without an actual app. Hooray.
Huzzah.
And also that includes stuff like actual native notifications where you get, like if you're on your phone, you can actually have it so you get notification if you get a PM, or if certain threads you've subscribed to have new posts, you can get notified about that. And it's all customizable on the user side, not us doing anything. So you can go, I only want notifications for this, for that. So that is done. Hooray.
I want no notifications from anyone ever. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
To be fair, I wasn't gonna turn those on, and I was like, okay, we'll turn them on. We'll see if enough people use them where it screws up the site to have them running. But if not, whatever. If someone wants notifications, it's not like it bothers me. I check the site enough that it doesn't really need anything that I need, but whatever. So everything should just be working. Although technically speaking, anyone that I know with Android who was trying to test this, they all had like Samsung phones with older versions of the browser that don't install PWAs properly. So like trying to get Vandy to do it, and it just wasn't working. It's like, okay, we think this is how you do it on Android. Someone let us know. And then it feels like in the last week and a half, we're starting to get like, it's quiet, but we're also getting the drip of movie stuff now.
It's getting.
And it's like, at any given point over the next month and a half, we might be back to weekly episodes with news. Hopefully not, but
Please no.
I recall with Try and Kazuna, there were times when we were doing weekly episodes without a show running weekly just to drain the news bucket. So first up, we have
Yeah.
we have Dev, you weren't there for that.
I was
It
there
a
in
rough
spirit.
time.
Yeah. So we have character posters for Ode to the Beginning. This is the same art that was on the actual poster we got a few months ago, but split up into characters. They look so good. Like when they have the room to breathe, when it's not everyone in that movie poster art moon shape, where they put the heads and they're always in like
Yeah,
a
like
curve.
dark.
Yeah.
The lighting's so good in this. The
I know.
shading.
Like it.
Just the night, but lit up properly, except
Well,
for Louis because he's dark.
Also, they light them up based on the clothing colors. So, like with the Daisuke and Ken one, it's the blue that's associated with Daisuke's jacket, or with the Takaru Iori one, it's the yellow of his jacket. So it kind of blends. With Hikari and Miyako, it's not a poncho. What's the outfit she's wearing called?
I have no idea what that's supposed to be.
But you know what I mean, right? Like, it's not like
Shawl?
no, I don't know what the outfit's called. But yeah. And then I think the purple on the other one's supposed to be his hair.
I guess.
And also Ukuman is there. Ian,
Menacing looking Muppet.
In the foreground, as opposed to Shakuman and yeah.
Ian, I don't think it's meant to be a sari from India. It's not quite
No,
that style.
It's not a sari.
That's what keeps throwing me off. Is I keep going, it's supposed to be that classical Indian outfit, but that's not that style of outfit. So my brain keeps like frying on what it's supposed to be. I don't know. But yeah, the posters all look good. Can we also just point out that we get a movie poster where one of the main focuses is Shakuamon?
I
We're
wouldn't
so
say
proud
it's
of him after all these years.
It's a pretty big focus of that poster though.
He's there. Iori and Takara were looking the other way.
Also, I just want to say, I know I've already made the joke. I love the pose Ukumon's in. It's like, it's sort of like someone's like, you guys need to pose for the poster, and Ukumon's looking in the wrong direction. And
Someone
also
told it the camera's that way, and it believed them.
It also has
like all the little stickers on Miyako's laptop.
I like the pizza slice one. Also, like, if you look at the post, like, Daisuke's doing his smiley scream. Ken is trying to look like he has a personality. Takaru's yelling.
Ken is vaguely concerned.
Iori looks like Iori. Hikari's trying to look serious, like she's from a drama. And Miyako looks like way too excited action posy while also holding a laptop and not looking at it.
Miyako just did something clever.
And I can't make a joke for Louis because all my jokes are he thinks he's Shinji. And the problem with that joke is he is.
He's Shinji.
How you doing, Shinji?
Louis is getting in the robot.
And then we have more movie stuff. Tickets have begun. They've done a nice batch of preview screenshots. And again, there's one of Ukumon's looking fucking cracked out on this one. That is the loudest you have ever laughed of. I think my headset peaked.
Oh, jeez. I just saw the pictures.
Yeah. One thing I do love, now that we're seeing more actual footage and not like glamour trailer shots, is seeing the little differences in drawings. Like the shot of Miyako standing there it just looks nice, and like Hawkmon floating there. I'm just very happy with all this stuff. It just looks so good. The shot of Paledramon looks great. Also, can we all point out that like how wrong it looks when you look at the one shot and Iori's the one clearly on the computer?
I just love that they keep the tradition of someone on the computer and everybody watching. It's just a Digimon staple at this point.
It's really an O2 staple.
I think Adventure had some
No,
of that.
it absolutely did. But I mean, like look at the room they're in. It looks like a generic classroom. I'm sure it's not, because like you can see the ceiling tiles with the vents, and it looks like a shitty school ceiling.
Honestly, they might have broken into like a closet at a restaurant.
To be fair, they've done that before. In fact, they did that in the last movie. In fact, they did that in the last movie and the last audio drama the O2 kids did. In fact, isn't that what happened to them in Try? They somehow broke into the digital world and they got bodied. Everything they do has to do with being broken into stuff, places they're not supposed to be, and causing shit. That's why they weren't in Try. They showed up and Alphamon bodied them so they would go away.
Well, they're led by Daisuke. They're chaotic good, for sure.
Yeah, so on top of that, early tickets are on sale. I like that. I mean, I'm not paying that much for a water bottle. I like that water bottle, though. I love how it has all 9 crests.
Yeah.
Like, that is a small change from trying Kazuna stuff, but that is a significant, like, important thing.
Gotta have Ken rep, yeah.
Although I will say,
once.
But yeah, I like the water bottle. I'm really not fucking buying it. I have enough water bottles. They're nicely though, they are selling the water bottle separately for anyone who does want it. You don't have to buy a ticket. Various social media accounts have swapped over to the beginning stuff. I love that Vmon shot of him just, yeah. And then New York Comic Con. Gee, let's go over what they've said here. Digimon Adventure, Past and Future's name of the panel. They'll look back at the first 2 seasons of Digimon with the original producer, which they have not specified. I've already gotten like 3 fucking messages asking if I'm hinting that's me. No, I'm not fucking going to New York. No.
You're not the no.
No, like people keep like.
What the hell to go to New York?
No, that's a point. Like, because I point out that like they don't say who the producer is, but the obvious guess would be Seki Hiromi, and people are like,
yeah, that's what I thought.
But a couple people have taken me saying that like there's no specific mention of who it is, wink, wink, and they think I'm saying wink, wink, rather than just going the obvious guess would be Seki Hiromi. I'm saying that because that's the. I'm not trying to hint it's me. I'm not fucking going to New York. Period. I have nothing. I have nothing to do with this. They do not need me. They do not need to mention the movie stuff at all. They have stuff to talk about.
Toei's doing the panel. It's going to be somebody relevant to the original series.
It is the original.
On that.
It is. And here's the thing: we don't even know if the person's going to be there. If it's going to be like a Q&A thing. They say Q&A, but that could easily be recorded. They did that for In fact, I think they did that
like
with her
submit
before.
your questions ahead of time. Blah blah blah.
And that said, it does look like it's going to be a presentation, which implies that somebody's going to be there in person.
And then they're like, and there's a special look at the new film, Digimon Adventure Ode to the Beginning. I feel like the obvious thing everyone's jumping at is, well, they're going to probably announce some sort of date or something for the U.S.
You'd expect that at something like this.
Because here's the thing. It's 2 weeks before it's out. There's really no reason to do it at that point unless they're announcing something.
Yeah.
So, our assumption...
I mean, it'd be kind of silly. Hey, look at this movie that's coming out. We're not going to tell you when you can access it.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful we get information. So that's Friday, October 13th at noon, room 406.2. Go ahead.
I'm impressed that it's a month before the convention. They already know when and where it's going to be. Like that's ahead of schedule.
To be fair, this is one of those conventions where it goes giant clusterfucky.
It is, but still. With those kind of conventions, I expect it to be even more last minute. Like,
True,
we're
I
gonna
guess.
do a panel sometime.
I wonder if this is the type of thing like, we have something to announce. We need confirmation. You're giving us a panel, or else we're doing it somewhere else. But yeah,
I'm
so
not sure what somewhere else are available at
I
this
mean, that's the
time.
thing is you don't need a convention to do that.
Yeah, I
See
suppose.
the problem is I don't remember if they actually announced Kazuna at an event because we already knew the dub was coming because 10 different things happened that told us the dub was happening. So I don't actually recall what the formal announcement was because they accidentally told us like 10 times for Kazuna.
Yeah. Also, the dub came out. That was like the lead up to. We were still like in the middle of COVID, weren't we?
Well,
When the
no, no,
dub
no.
was
But I
coming
mean,
out.
but originally, remember, we were supposed to get the movie right after, and we already had ideas that they were going to announce the dub at the screening. Like
Oh yeah,
as
yeah.
far as I'm aware, the formal announcement of the dub was going to be at the screening was going to be a recording from Brian Donovan, as far as I'm aware.
Mm.
And that didn't happen, nor was Brian
Nor did
Donovan in the
Brian
movie.
Donovan.
Yeah,
Brian Donovan didn't happen either.
yeah. In fact, I think we first found out about 2020 because they said at the Fathom screening there would be a preview of a new Digimon series, and we went, "What new Digimon series?" And then all of a sudden that vanished a day or two later from the theatrical listings. Isn't that what AR? Dev wasn't here at the time, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened, wasn't it? Like the listing for it in theaters was like there'll be a preview of the new Digimon Adventure series or something like that, and we all went,
I thought we had inklings of it before that.
mm,
I thought we'd
maybe we
seen like
did.
because I think that was still back in the Digimon Adventure Psy days, but
No, no,
it
no, no,
was
no, no.
around.
I'm talking about this was like before that.
Oh no, you're right because there was some speculation about what kind of series it would be before we figured out it was an adventure reboot. There was like a brief period of time when we knew
See,
something was coming, but we
I
didn't
don't
know
think,
it was.
but no, I think that's what it was we found out there would be a new show because they said they were going to show something
Yeah,
with the movie. And then
yeah,
like 2 weeks later, the V Jump had it and we're like, okay, it's a new
yep,
Digimon Adventure series. That's
yeah,
why they're going to show it at the screening. And then it
yeah.
just never happened because of COVID.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I do remember them that we were speculating over what kind of new series it would be, thinking it was probably adventure,
Yeah.
but not
Well,
entirely sure. So there was
I
a
don't remember what we used. I feel like at some point we probably had to have said that for all we know it would follow up on the new movie in some fashion, and hell no,
no,
it didn't.
yeah. I remember kind of doing an odds type of post about what it was, and it was like 50% something adventure related,
Yeah.
at
Uh,
least.
Because
so
Adventure just kept printing
yeah,
money.
yeah.
Yep.
So the next month and a half is gonna have more O2 stuff than you can imagine, which I'm looking forward to because I fucking love 02. Like I want every stupid thing they can throw at us, and
As long as the art's good, I'd bring it.
and we have some more
We
O2
need
stuff to
some
talk
more
about later.
gem figures.
I would love to see more gem figures of the O2 stuff. And now let's talk about the funniest thing. Animax is going to be showing Digimon movies. Did you see the movie lineup that they're using to lead up to O to the beginning? On October 8th, the Digimon Adventure movie and our war game. October 15th, the first two parts of Try. October 22nd, parts 3 and 4 of Try, and October 29th, part 5 of Try, part 6 of Try, and Last Evolution Kizuna. The perfect lead up to these new 02 movie.
I mean, you get the whole story, I guess.
No, you realize what's missing, right? The 02 movies. They're not in there.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know if we should take that as like a marketing thing where they're just not making the O2 movies available because there's a new O2 movie out and they don't want to duel their own stuff, or are we supposed to take it as like meaning like this is actually relevant in some way?
Yeah, I take it to mean don't watch that. It's distracting.
And of course the last three are after the movie's out. They love
Yeah,
that.
that's kind of weird.
They love that with movie marathons. It always happens with the anime ones where like the last day is a day or two after everything happens.
I mean, because you figure that the new movie's gonna be like it's gonna have some follow up to Kazuna. Don't know what that entails, but it is a
Yeah.
follow up.
And then we have news for the UK. I haven't checked to see if these are still open, but the Watanabe edition V Pets they had up to order on Bandai Shop UK, they are still there. In fact, I think right now that's the only place you can order these because I think pre-orders closed everywhere else. So if you're in the
Yeah, I
UK,
think they sold out pretty much
yeah,
everywhere.
I think I'm waiting for mine to show up from Premium Bandai US. I think. I still really like these. It is a very strange mishmash that Kenshi Watanabe has created of his original art, stuff that's themed from the Japanese side of the brand, and stuff from the English side of the brand, like using the old English logo. It's he's done something. The art's really is special on these. It's weird also, but I love them. And then, are you guys ready for the card speed round? One sec, I need to drink some
Zoom
water before
zoom.
I do this.
Load up some of
Okay.
these.
Okay, you
Just
guys ready?
you fueling for the
Yeah. Oh,
marathon here. Oh
okay,
my
ready?
god, there's so many.
I know. Okay, ready? Okay, first we have Bergermon. Great art, great fire effects. Um, Meteor Wing does the same thing with great art, great fire effects, but very different fire effects. I love the coloring
Yeah, the
on
comic style. Yeah,
Meteor Wing.
that's
It
cool.
is gorgeous. Then we have Hoomon, which Hoomon is a great Grandeur card. It doesn't hold up next to the two Bergermon cards we just saw, though.
No,
That's the
no.
issue. Like, by itself, it's fine.
Yeah,
Pilon is a very cute card. I love how it's chasing after a Bergermon in the sky. It like reminds you of so many movie images of something flying overhead. It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Uh, Petty Marimon, we get him dancing with a Mokumon in the sky. I don't know what. I love the image. It's good. Candmon is reading other can. I don't know how I feel about him reading by candlelight. That seems weird. Then we get Bakumon. It's floating in a lab. What's weird is
yeah,
there's a lot of nice lighting and background effects, but there's nothing super special about it. It's just,
yeah. It's just that's the sort of setting you expect Bakuman to
yeah.
be in.
Tyrannomon, great theme. 3 Tyrannomon through a cityscape. You can sort of see something hiding from them. We all get that this is supposed to be the Seeker Squad.
Yeah, well, I mean, also there's an SOC
Yes.
thing in the text,
I know,
so
but it's never stopped them from doing that sort of thing, even when it doesn't. But yes. Then the Airjamon one is interesting because it looks like it's charging up its move Tatsumaki, but also like its positioning is very strange, where it's kind of like floating in between like metal beams.
Kind of like, oh, it's actually its tail is kind of like wrapped around a girder or something.
he just feels like he's in the way.
Yeah, it's weird. I like the art, but the background is fucking weird. Uh, Megatron, we get neat art of it in a mid-city battle, beating up some little Digimon. Marvin gets his profile art.
Orphan gets a
Although
card.
I will say this: the framing of the art is better than we've seen for some of the Seekers cards.
Also, he has a last name now. I didn't realize that.
I think we had his last name before.
Oh,
I think it
I
just
didn't.
isn't in the story, but I think we had it.
Huh? Yeah, Marvin Jackson.
Then
Okay.
yeah, then Megadramon in his option card Ultimate Slicer. So I don't dislike this one, but this is just like a generic Megadramon card. It doesn't really like
Yeah.
stand out or anything.
It's doing
Bombermon.
its flashy thing.
Bombermon actually. So we always talk about Koki's art often looking like pudding, and it doesn't always work. It works amazingly here. With the
Yeah.
coat, the background, the little bit of fire in between his fingers, the little bombs running around. This is where
It
Koki's
has like
art
a
shines.
smoky feel to it.
Yes, this is where
Hmm.
Koki's art shines. Then we get Tailmon running around the same ruins. I love the light from above. That's a good theming. The reflection. We get Bakuman floating around and sleeping. I love the detail where you can kind of see the town. It weirdly reminds me of the one in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
I was gonna say that. It looks like
Yeah.
Gerudo Town.
The one where Link's from.
Hateno.
Oh, Hatno?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that one too.
Yeah. Um, And then
Yes, with
Wizardmon.
all the
Wizardmon
red
looks great with the dynamic colors, the different swirls of like air / magic around. This is a great card.
I love when this artist brings out like the almost kind of like fluorescent colors.
Yes, it really works well for Wizardmon. Holy Dramon, this is where I would say it looks neat, but it's also Holy Dramon being Holy Dramon.
There have been better Holy Dramon
Yeah.
cards. I have better
It's
Holy
fluffy.
Dramon cards.
And then this is the first card of Hikari as she appears in the original adventure. So I believe the art team that does these cards is the Toei Promotional art team, which is why no one's credited because there is no singular artist to credit. They've done an amazing job differentiating the original and 2020 kids. They've really done a
Oh,
good
yeah.
job with that. Like,
Oh yeah, that's been consistent the whole
I know
run.
it's the level of detail on these are amazing. It's also kind of special because it's been a few years since we've gotten just a bunch of random new art of them like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, say, when we got that one Tamer's Christmas art and all we could do was bash it because we'd gotten a year of great
Oh,
Tamer's
that
art,
was so
and then
bad.
we got the weird thing where they like glued their heads on outfits from Home Improvement.
They were like those
I know.
paper cutout dress-up dolls.
And also, Revelation of Light is certainly a card that uses a screen cap.
Yep.
And
Moving on.
and because rainbowing is built into it, you can almost miss just how much her foot is fucking rainbowing. Because there's so much rainbowing, you might take that as on purpose, and it's really not. Venom Vamdemon, that is a great fucking like monster card. That is great.
Yes, like full-on kaiju.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
weirdly, Venom Infused even also it's hard to. I always find it hard for them to stand out when you get two cards that are really similar with the same character. And because the styles are different enough, and you see the swirls of the rainbow, I think it actually stands out enough to work.
Yeah, it's also
And
harder
then-
for the option cards because you have half the space to work with.
And then let's talk about what I think is one of the set of VIP cards from this set, Meramon and Death Meramon. If they had gotten nothing but basic cards, these look so striking.
Orange and purple.
That's the same artist with the amazing kind of fluorescent colors.
And they're kind of mirrors of each other where we get one looking right, the other looking left. One is charging up like a fire attack, the other swinging the whip. They're so fucking good. Like, I saw these and I
Just the color dynamic between the two is really great.
It really works good. And also, I don't know, like, I know it's meant to be like a specific dark castle, but like at the bottom left, it almost looks like Castlevania, which goes with the whip and stuff really well.
Yeah.
Ganimon and Quelon, it's weird. These are both really nice, but these also fit into the vein of these are nice. Although I think the Ganimon one's a bit special.
The Ganimon one has a lot going on for it.
Yeah.
It has more character. And just
Sealamon's fine.
Yeah. And then the Hangyomon, who are about to play a prank on a Kamimon who just wants to go fishing. I love the weird thing about this is when you look at the art, when you look at the Kamimon, doesn't the perspective almost remind you of like a Mario RPG? Where you get like a pseudo 3/4 view perspective.
Not quite.
Then we get Tentomon. It's good art, but it's also Tentomon very much being Tentomon. And look, he's doing Petite Thunder. And then right after that, we get Petite Thunder.
Petite Thunder.
Which I like it, but also it's one of those cases where because they're both showing the same thing, it's less exciting.
Hey, it's not a screen cap. I'll take it.
That's a victory. And then we get Hercules Kabuterimon fucking shit up.
Yes.
I love like how like he's blasting so hard he's like blasting backwards.
There's recoil on a shot. I love it.
Yeah, it's so good. And like you can see like the ground ripping up.
Get wrecked.
Then we get Numamon X being Numamon X. And Woru Manzemon, who, bless him, he still has his paw. It has not been shot off yet.
Good for him. Yet.
And then we get Garamon, who's doing his best impression of Toy Story.
Claw.
Yeah. And then we get Monzemon X This is one where I actually think Koki's artwork's good because it's weird because it feels like it's not how we normally see Monzemon Monzemon X.
X. No.
My brain wants to say Shin Monzemon because he keeps coming up lately.
That is similar color schemes. Like, oh, it's a Monzemon, but there's some pink in there. It's like, oh wait,
Well,
no,
also
it doesn't
like
have
the
the wing.
perspective's different. It's drawn with a bit more detail than we see Monzemon X. So my brain was like, oh, there's the brown, and also the home improvement shirts from Al Borland again. Why did he kill Al and steal his shirt? And there's also a Monzemon. Why does that Monzemon look like he's about to murder him? He looks oddly upset about something. Then can we like give a small little clap for the update of the recolors? We get Muchomon and Akatorimon. I forget Akatorimon exists sometimes.
Right?
Because there's barely any difference.
Yeah, there's
And
no
the
distinction
and the
between.
Muchomon's really nice, and Monmon's there and happy.
Oh yeah, Muchomon's great. Everyone loves Muchomon.
Yeah. And then we get Brachymon and Kanjimon. This update is what I call the long necks. One has bubbles, one has cannons. I think we know who will win. Then we get Ryudamon.
Rest in peace with Littlefoot.
We get Ryudamon, Yulin, Oryumon, Lugamon, and Lugarmon.
Seekers ahoy!
So Lugamon is basically Lugamon. Lugarmon's basically. See, the problem is they're both good-looking cards for these two, but they're also like exactly what you expect for these characters. Ryudamon's funny because you realize how many people have never read his profile and his attacks because they're like, "Whoa, Ryudamon can spit out a sword," and Seeker's like, "No, that's literally his thing."
Yeah.
That's literally like all he can do. He can spin around like Sonic the Hedgehog, and he can spit out swords.
He is Anthe.
Yeah. And then we get Yulin with her profile art, and we get Oryumon kind of just floating around and being like, "Hey, I don't always look like a weird fucking poorly designed dragon that looks weird as a toy that doesn't come out." Like they almost frame him so you think he's a knight or something in this card, and it looks neat, I think.
Got swords.
And then, did you guys see the cool where we start to get some more VIP cards? First up, Palmon X.
Very proud of her.
That is an
It's been
amazing.
so long.
Palmon X, Togemon X, both good. I love how Togemon X is like the walking through the desert man with no name vibe.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't continue that with Liliumon X. I think this is the best art Liliumon X. Like, I get what the profile art's going with, but the big hands and the weird poofy skirt never worked for me. It always made it look weird. So we had Liliumon X and Rosemon X, and you can tell like there's a meeting for Rosemon X. We're like, we don't want this to look too horny, but also that's the character. This is as far as you're allowed to go. No, you can't have her bending over. She has to lean back. No, she can't lean over that far back. It has to look reasonable. And no, you can't have her whipping someone. And just
Why not?
You can
I
imagine.
don't think anybody's giving them these notes.
I know. I'm just saying someone's giving notes somewhere because I can see Rosemon X.
I think this particular artist just decided to show a little bit of restraint.
Yes, but that's what I mean. Like, Rosemon X is one that if there was no restraint, we just go, well, that's Rosemon X. And instead, there's some reasonable restraint, but not.
Honestly, I would have expected the note to be hornier, please.
No, they have to save that for when the card game stops selling. Then they could do. What was the one? It was the digital one where like art after art was just as horny as could be, like to the point there's the Nefertimon card where it's just like they completely redesigned Nefertimon to have giant breasts. Like where like it doesn't. Where
I remember that art.
That's the art that like is the first art someone pulls up when they go, Digimon's art isn't reasonable. And their example is always that one Nefertimon. In fact, one sec, I'm pulling it up and throwing it in the chat.
I'm like, have I seen
this? Well, they
this?
also did the same to Harpymon.
Oh, that I believe. Harpymon, you can totally be horny with.
There's
Oh,
the
okay,
Nefertimon.
yeah, okay, I see
Yeah.
it, yeah.
And,
Okay.
and the defense is always, well, Nefertimon had breasts in the first place. There's a difference.
There's a difference.
Yes.
Like, who's getting horny for Nefertimon?
You say that, but
Furries.
yeah, we need to move on because that's an answer that we already know exists. And then Babamon, I like the sweeping, and Gigimon just in the back, and I'm pretty sure he's just drinking coffee. This is another one where Koki's art really accentuates the design of everything. It almost feels like it's meant to be like a Disney movie or something. And then back to the horny with Lady Devimon.
I was gonna say, here's some characters you get horny for.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I think we kind of got spoiled with all the
from the content, yeah.
art for Lady
Although I
Devimon.
will say, this is a good Lady Devimon one. I think it would not be nearly as good if it didn't have the blood moon in the background. I think you need that color difference to really make it work.
You need that red.
Yeah. And Paimon, so Paimon I really like, but it also feels like this is Paimon. And also here's some confetti. And
it's drawn very well, but that's his pose.
It is exactly what you expect for Paimon. Nothing more, nothing less. For some reason, Evilmon, I kept thinking of what I wanted to say. It feels sort of like his profile art, and also he needs it to go to a dentist. He has problems.
Gingivitis.
Some countries don't judge that sort of thing quite as harshly as we do, having crooked.
Are you saying Evilmon is British?
I am.
Is anyone else hearing him as Austin Powers now, just floating around?
Yes.
Oh, if only Digimon were dubbed today.
He lost his mojo.
And then, this is the one like we all knew it was fucking coming, but the Apocalypse card is so fucking good. And it's weird because there's nothing special about this card, like pose-wise. It's just the art is so fucking good, it makes it special.
It reminds you of
some fucking amazing lighting, like the backlighting behind
it. Feels like a stylish take on his profile art. It's the color and the pose. Like, there's nothing special about the pose or anything. It's the color, the framing. It, like, you get to see, like, the body at the top, but it looks dark and menacing, and you don't, like, it's not detailed enough to really see it.
Yeah, it's just a reminder of when Apocalypse is on full display, like, you get the whole scope of it. This does a really good job putting that in perspective of just how big and nasty
also
this
he
looks.
Helps if you're playing D&D. Because you just roll.
He's the D12.
I always want to say D20, even though I know he's not 20-sided.
It's a 12.
But yeah.
I think it's a D12.
Then
somebody add up the sides of Apocalypse and
we also get to see Kyokyomon sleeping.
I believe he's dodecahedron shaped.
We get to see Kyokyomon sleeping. Along with a Fufumon. Then we get to see Ginryumon and his Ryarumon. Should we not have seen these guys earlier when we got Ryudamon?
I was like, these guys seem out of order, yeah.
And also, is it weird that, like, the most dynamic part of these arts are not them? Like, the fire one is clearly him being shot at. And his Ryumon?
Yeah.
Am I wrong, or does it look like he's supposed to be fighting, like, a Pulsemon evolution? Because I don't think he has a green lightning attack, does he? That's not his thing.
No, that's not him doing that.
Yes.
He's
all
dodging.
All the cool shot indies are other people doing shit.
Maybe they're just mad at him because he was useless in
I mean, he's
Ghost Game.
I mean, remember
to be fair, a lot of people were useless in Ghost Game.
These two are partner to the cop in Seekers, so.
And then let's finish off with card game news. Booster set 16 beginning observers December 23rd. We get a second limited card set in November themed after Death Exmon. And shortly after that,
hell yeah.
And shortly after that, we got bullet points for Booster Set 16. As you'd expect, it's Digimon Adventure to the beginning. Many Digimon and Tamer cards of characters from the film, including Louis and Ukomon. Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode will get an ace card along with 3 more ace cards. Gee, we're all going to be very shocked when it's Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode, Pale Dramon, Sylphimon, and Shakuamon.
Surprise!
There's room for whatever newbies they introduce to the movie. And
then a new effect called Partition. When a card leaves the battle, you get to use Jogris resources in some way.
Ooh.
So that could be interesting, and that really does remind you of V-Tamer when they would partition Omegamon.
Yep.
And then Leon and Pulsemon will also be there, so we can know when to expect them back.
Like, haven't they had a? They haven't had a card yet.
No,
Or Leon hasn't had a card
it
yet.
really feels like Leon has, doesn't it? Like
I know. It's like, has Leon not had a card
yeah.
yet?
When I was going through and making this, I'm like, Leon, isn't Leon like booster set 14 or 15? I'm like, oh no, he's not, because booster set 14 was I forgot the main character's name. My brain has like
AG?
AG?
yes, AG and younger cop girl.
Okay.
And the current set is Marvin and older
Shu-
cop girl with
yeah.
with Flock of Seagulls haircut.
Shulin, yeah.
Yes. So that
Karen.
set is the
Yeah, Karen.
that
There's girl cop and Karen cop.
look. All I remember is younger girl cop has Numamon and she has a hat. Older
Girl cop.
older girl cop has
Karen
Mutamon and a Flock of Seagulls haircut,
Yeah.
and like Dev said, Karen. So this set's out December 23rd.
Girl cop and Karen cop, and they apparently don't have any actual authority.
Yeah. And then we have all the cards for the O2, the beginning promo pack. I love how it's the Kazuna art, but with small changes. Like Hikari, I believe, has her hair from the new movie, but it's her Kazuna art. And TK still has that fedora from Kazuna. Although weirdly, most of the Digimon are new art. Like Vmon is not, but like the others I think are. And Ukumon is that art we saw in that poster in China, where we have we missed this art somewhere? We did not. And then
It's still so weird looking.
Bandai announced Bandai Card Game Fest World Tour. They're going to do events in 9 places with tournament stops with the tour finals in Japan. And I liked the reaction after this happened was people complaining that it was not going to their country, therefore it was not a world tour.
Yep.
That is not how a world tour works, people.
No.
Yeah.
So we will see what else pops up here. I know they've announced the U.S. championships are going to be at the L.A. event and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. It's a very nice Pacific Rim tour.
Then for card battle, they did a Gachi deck battle, which I believe is where they're each given sealed packs. They have to open them, and they have to actually use those cards. And then they did a card preview episode. And then, moving on from cards, the Adventure re-release Blu-ray is out. We got higher resolution look at everything on it. I still don't know what to think of these packaging. Like, I like minimal styling normally, but this just feels lazy to me.
It's
Boring.
too minimal.
Yeah. Then we get to see the first look at the O2 packaging, which, as we expected, is literally the same packaging, just with the assets changed out to a new color and artwork. And that's out November 8th, shortly after the movie. It's almost like they planned it. And then we get apparel in the US, a new line of shirts from Atsuko. So
I'm surprised.
tie and matter long sleeve shirts. Everyone else are short sleeve. These are really nice, I think. The way they integrate the crest name and the design. What's weird is it's weird because the Taichi is the profile art. The Yamato is the profile art. Sora is that art we first saw in like a calendar 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where we kept going, have we seen the Sora art before? No, I don't think so. And Mimi's also that calendar art. In fact, I think the only people who use old art by older I mean the original is Tai, Yamato, and I think Takeru.
Takeru, yeah.
Yep.
Like Hikari with the weird stretch leg thing they did with her in that art. And also her one hand is fucking like olive oil. Where she has the pipe cleaner arm, but the giant Popeye fist. She had her spinach. I really like these shirts. I like how the long sleeve one have the little designs on the arms. It's just really neat. I'm not gonna get any of these. Either you?
I might be able to get talked into the Izzy one.
They are tempting, but like if I
I
wasn't
have
already
one.
completely and utterly inundated with T-shirts,
I have one issue with
sure.
the Izzy one. If you look at the kids in all 8, it feels like the colors work for them really well. Except the Izzy in purple feels off because it feels like it's wrong red.
I'm colorblind enough where I
Oh,
don't
okay.
notice.
Okay. I'm not colorblind in the least. And to me, I'm just going,
It could have
it
been like a warmer purple.
yeah, that's it like
Yeah.
it throws off because like the red because it's not red, but the purple they use almost is correct for Izzy's hair, not Kabuterimon, so it looks like wrong red rather than color tinted purple to me.
I see what you're saying.
And also
It,
weirdly, Joe in just gray works perfectly. That feels sad. That feels mean. Like Joe,
yeah.
you're in grayscale, and also it works perfect for both you and Pseudomon.
Yeah. I would think about the gray. I
It's
had the
very
same issue
silvery.
with the Hatsune Miku shirts. The Joe one, I just couldn't talk myself into a gray shirt.
I 100% could if the largest size they had is not no way in hell going to fit me. I would actually think about the Joe shirt. And then back to Zero to the beginning. They have not announced anything yet, but Karates Karaoke will be doing another Digimon collaboration. I love the theme and the art. It's let's make a big cake together and celebrate.
I
Miyako.
don't trust
No one
Miyako.
cares.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's way too happy with that
Mm.
piping bag.
Yeah, this is gonna go badly.
Yeah,
It's gonna look fine until Miyako does the icing, and then
yeah.
it's all
Like
gonna go to hell.
If you look at Takaru, he has like pastries. Iori has coffee. Daisuke is standing there doing nothing, which is the best thing. Ken is waiter. Hikari has a sweet. If we look at the Digimon, they're all doing useful things. Miyako's like, I'm gonna eat all this fucking frosting.
As she should. It is her right.
It is, but I will say this: it shows everyone's personality great because when you think of them doing this, Miyako just ready to down the whole thing of frosting by herself is exactly Miyako.
I don't think she's gonna down it. I think she's gonna just splatter it all over that cake. At the very least.
See, I feel like the cake's done, and I feel like Miyako's smart enough to know that.
She bought extra frosting just so she can have like an
Also,
entire tub
can
of
we just
Digimon.
say that like the Digimon all have personality, but for some reason, Okomon just looks great here. He has the weird little French hat on, and he's just
Little
like,
beret
"Yay!" He's
on.
like, "Yay! I
Yeah.
get."
And the little astronaut.
He's like, "Yay! I
Yeah.
get to be here until they kill me in the movie."
It's like, yeah, he's not surviving.
Yeah.
And then we get a calendar for 2024 for O2. I love the new art for this. I need it in high resolution. It looks great.
Oh. I haven't seen this.
But yeah, what's interesting to me is a lot of this mirrors the marketing art for Kazuna. Like, do you remember the one of Taichi where he's throwing his hand up like that and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love the art for this. I want it higher resolution. And this is out in October. At current exchange rates, it's like $11 or $12.
Good price, but
If
you
I
know,
could
you'd
find it,
also have to have other stuff
yeah,
at the same time
I was gonna
to
say
justify the
if I
difference.
could find this without importing bullshit, I would actually think of getting this. It is so nice looking. And then we have a new DigiGift wallpaper for September. It is Shikoamon in front of the moon, and they say it's to help heal those starting anew at school or work. You can't save those people. Like if they need Shikuamon's help to survive school or work, it's too late. Exactly. And then
Like, they'll
the
always remember you.
Dukemon special coding model kit is up, to which we all say they really should have done a side by side.
I mean, it
Yeah.
looks really nice, but I don't know the difference
So here's the thing.
between
Here's the
the
thing.
two
I
of
actually
them.
can tell the difference now, but without a side by side, it's not good enough. And the funny thing is, while they talk about the gold, it feels like the biggest difference to me is the gray is darker.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know how I feel
Like
about
a
the gray.
Here's the weird thing. When they did the War Greymon one, they were showing us side by side images and stuff, so you could see the difference. Even though that was a more obvious one, this is like, oh, they're talking about. Let's see, what are they talking about? Oh, vision, various colorings have changed, and look at the nice shiny gold. Okay then, and we also get special packaging, which we'll see. All joking aside, I actually think this is neat. Do I think it's $60 neat? Not without a side by side. This is where they need to show shit off, and since they're not, I think it's not a bad idea. It needs the side by side. So yeah, that's a pre-order. And in poll results, the favorite Digimon from the D Brigade, 32% is Dark Dramon, 22% is only existed for 90 days, Blue War Greymon.
Ooh.
Command Dramon,
Blue.
Cargo Dramon. Cargo Dramon got a lot less
Cargo
than I
Dramon.
expected.
I know. How do you say no
Yeah,
to a
I
cargo
was
plane?
expecting like at least like upper middle.
So here's what honestly happened, and I think this is the biggest. And I did tweet this, and I'm pretty sure AR probably saw it. This is the ultimate evidence that no one cares about the D Brigade outside of a small group of fans. The dude who's only existed for 90 days and is basically a really ugly blue War Greymon almost sweeped.
I do like the Commandermon got a pretty good chunk though.
I would have thought Seals Dramon would have done better, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like him
No.
being under High Command Dramon doesn't even look that good to me, honestly. High Command, we had such
Greymon and popped off his horns.
We had such high hopes for High Command Dramon before we knew anything about him and only saw him in the poster.
And it's like, oh, never mind, this looks like shit.
Yeah. But yeah, Brigade Dramon almost doing that well is honestly disappointing, honestly. Because that is literally most of the people voting do not care about the D Brigade. But hey, this kind of looks like War Greymon, so good enough. And then we have the various weekend stuff. So first up, with pre-orders closing for the clear V-Pets, I will say these look so much better than the renders, because I think these are actual shell images. Looks really nice. Tenya Buno put up previews of the VGM stuff that went up. He also pointed out originally he planned to do a story about Pulsemon going to Ritsu's room to visit him. He decided to delay that, and then they ended up doing the adventure story, so that just didn't happen. So, and he said Espimon was introduced because, marketing thing. He was marketed at the time, so there was going to be a card there, so he decided to do a chapter with him, and that kind of changed everything. Then card game events, which general photos, nothing super wild this time, although Miyanori did post an image showing that someone showed up for her birthday with cards for her, and it's Ryota from Card Battle.
Aww, that's very cute.
Then museum, they're using the Armidamon stamp. I don't know why I'm so amused that Armidamon gets a new stamp. It's just neat. Then we get reference book updates. Luxmon, Archai Angemon, and Dominamon.
Was very surprised by the last one.
Yeah, you kind of expect it to be more Seraphimon Knight-ish, huh?
No, that's actually like acknowledging its existence after so long.
Well, we knew they were putting him in the reference book.
Eventually.
No, I mean we knew they were doing it because he was showing up in the V-Pet, the Vital Bracelet. Also, am I wrong, or does Luxmon look like he's gonna be a little shit?
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't recall his profile. It may say that. It feels like he's gonna do something stupid, and then Archai Angemon's gonna whack him with that fucking staff.
Luxmon looks like Lusamon, like enabling Lu's main job.
Yes, it is. And then, can we say how much of a delightful surprise this was? For the start of September, we got Cross Wars art. It's basically like, celebrating floats, because there's going to be various celebrations. Shout one Cross Wars just on top. We get done.
Mix it up. I love it.
I like how like a...
It's so great. Metal
The
Greymon
other
does
two are
not.
just like dragging it
Metal
along.
Greymon does not look happy.
No, because he's trying to carry that fucking thing.
And Don Dokomon is not helping. He's drumming.
Pokemon hasn't done a thing in his
Also,
life.
I just want to say the VIP in this artwork. Look at the Starmon on the sword, and look how great that looks. That Starmon.
Very happy to be included.
Yeah. And then from the second batch, we get another little bit of Dreamers preview stuff. Then Miyonori posted photos from I think the last of the tour events. First up, she posted a photo of an Agumon someone drew that said "Go for it," and the second one, she took a photo of herself next to an image of Yulin, and what she posted basically was she recorded a new fun Digica because she found Hideyoshi at the event because Hideyoshi had the same haircut.
Oh no.
Because remember, he had like the flock of seagulls haircut.
Yeah.
So she took a photo of herself and made that joke, which is amazing. And then from the museum,
Playing Cop Karen. Or Karen Cop.
they swapped out the poster for the one everyone autographed from Digifest, which is a neat little touch. And then it's time for
Oh,
questions.
okay, I didn't even notice that right away.
You guys in chat can throw yours up. The first one someone sent was, do we have feelings on if we don't get new Digivolutions in the movie?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I don't
here's
need new Digivolutions in the movie. I think we're gonna get them, but
like here's the thing: if the movie does shit well and there's not new evolutions, it's not necessarily a huge deal if it's done well.
and also I'm gonna say that's a bit of a cop out because Ukumon's gonna turn into something.
Yeah, corpse.
You know, that's true. But whenever I hear people talking about this, it doesn't feel like they mean Ukumon. It
I
feels
know, but it's we're gonna get something new in the
Imperial
movie.
Dramon Mercy mode.
like here's what mentally everyone here's mentally what everyone's actually saying. I want Chikuamon to evolve into X so
Yeah.
I can scream like a jackass at someone who I've argued with for years.
they want Shikuamon and Sylphimon to turn into something so they can complain about what they turn
No,
into.
here's
Chikuamon
what
X antibody.
no, here's the that'd be the best solution. But here's basically the argument as it stands. Shikuamon should turn into Vikemon. Shikuamon should turn into Clavis Angemon. And it's like it doesn't matter.
The thing is, if they do that, they're going to be new Digimon, and render 25 years of arguments invalid.
Shikuamon feels like it should be something new. Sylphimon, I could just easily see it being Valkyriemon.
Could be, but if they're going to do it, they're going to pump out some new Digimon for the cause. You can't give Shikuamon a new one and not give.
I think you're missing the obvious choice. Vmon, bond of courage and friendship, and Wormmon, bond of kindness.
Oh please no.
No wait, it would be Bond of Miracles.
It would be Bond of Miracles, yes.
We'll see.
It would be.
And then he turns into a motorcycle and laughs because Gabumon didn't in the movie.
Well, Gabumon's dead now, so whatever.
He's dead for now, you mean? For now. And then someone wants to know, does that Tokyo lab close their archives? And did my internet just go out? It looks like it disconnected for a minute, but it's back up. Okay, yeah. So it might be on YouTube's end. So the audio recording will have everything. We're definitely reconnected at YouTube, but not sure. Togen, basically, any company that does not have their own film storage stuff, it's at Togen. And the problem with that is that now that people know, you have people freaking out without looking. I have seen multiple people go, oh no, they're going to get rid of Ranma 1/2. So there's two issues with that. One, Ranma 1/2 has been remastered quite nicely. Two, you don't need to worry about stuff that like is owned. That stuff's all going to go to company X, company Y, company Z. The stuff you need to worry about is orphaned works. Do you guys know what orphaned works are?
Sadly.
Yeah, stuff that doesn't have a...
Yeah.
They just kind of abandoned.
And in Japan in the 80s, a lot of companies sprung up to fund OVAs and stuff like that, and then immediately went out of business, and no one's 100% sure who took those rights. So Togen is the holder of legal record of the film. So if someone gets let's say they don't dispose of the film properly, someone gets a hold of it, someone scans and releases it, Togen is technically legally responsible. So guess what? If someone doesn't claim, Togen technically has to do properly dispose of it.
Mm.
So people are now like freaking out, often for the wrong titles. I saw some people freaking out about the F-Zero anime, which is one, Nintendo, and two, digital. It does not have film in the first place.
Yeah.
So does it have anything to do with Digimon? No, twice. One, most Digimon stuff is digital. Very little is on film. And two, Toei has their own labs and stuff. Toei stores their own film, 99%. It has no effect on Digimon in any fashion. The part that's sad is that if something isn't able to be done, which would be the government stepping in to help store stuff or something like that, which probably won't happen, it basically means the stuff that's being chucked out is the stuff that who knows when the rights would ever get untangled. Like, they've been trying to work on laws for orphan rights in Japan for a few years, and by the time that happens, all the films may be gone. So, yeah. So you're not worrying about your big titles, you're worried about the stuff you've never heard of that you might discover in 5 years or might have some meaning that you're unaware of. The stuff that most people are thinking of is the stuff that you don't know generally, or the stuff that has weird stories behind it. It's not going to be like, oh no, they're throwing out Full Metal Alchemist or something. That's not this. That's not this.
No.
The list of titles I've seen people freak out about. Ranma. I saw one person freak because the problem is people are just looking up like titles.
People are like, yeah, what's the series from the 80s that
No.
familiar with?
Here's exactly what people are doing. People are going, Anime News Network has an encyclopedia with companies. They just look up Togen.
Okay.
They're like, oh no, Togen did film development for the Gummy Bears. The Gummy Bears are going to be lost. It's like, the Gummy Bears are Disney, motherfucker. I guarantee you, Disney
came out with Funko Pops last year.
Disney claimed that shit decades ago.
Yeah,
like
totally.
that was only ever there temporarily. That's not what to be. The list of titles I've seen people worried about. I've seen titles that I have not seen mentioned in decades. I saw someone mention Butobi CPU.
I have no idea what the fuck that is.
That is a weird softcore title that Right Stuff used to license about a computer girl. It used to come up with Digimon fans because the US name was I Dream of Mimi, and people would stumble across it by accident.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yes,
okay.
because Digimon fans would see I Dream of Mimi, or would type in Mimi, find that, and they're like, oh, this is softcore porn. I saw someone mention, I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that name in 15 years.
Yeah, that title I've heard of.
Yeah. But yeah, all the titles people are mentioning are stuff like, someone's mentioning Urusei Yatsura. Look, if you're worried about Urusei Yatsura, you have not cared about it enough to pay attention for years and years and years and years. So,
yeah.
And the next question, I don't know why I was so amused when I got this one. Favorite TK hat?
There's so many to choose from. I didn't have time to really go through the archives and find all 400 hats he's wearing.
I started putting together a fake story to explain, and I'm just going to go with the Gilligan hat from season 2. I was originally going to be like, I went on a vacation. It was 3 weeks long. The water started getting rough, and I decided.
Somebody wanted to present a hat montage at one of my panels. Like after my presentation, like she added on, like, here's a montage of all the hats he's worn. And I almost, if I had time, I would have dug that out and looked over them to find my favorite. I think I'm going to go with the fedora from the first part of Try.
Wait, was that
he wears to the concert? Yeah.
See, I keep getting mixed up because I think he had a different fedora in Kazuna at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, I like the one in Try better.
Was that like?
I'm gonna have to go with the bucket hat.
Was that like a khaki tan? The one in Try?
No. Well, maybe
I
one
thought
of them
I thought it
was.
was like white, like the one like that like Wada Koji
No.
wear. It
No,
wasn't?
not that one. That's not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of
Okay.
one of the first parts.
God, he had a lot of fedoras.
He had so many fedoras, so good.
You could tell. He could also tell just based on try. He definitely tipped it at women.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
totally.
Although based on try, it apparently worked.
He's a fuckboy. What do you want?
Uh, and Ian in chat says a favorite Taku hat is like a favorite Kirby hat.
Each one gives him different powers.
Yeah. Dev, you said the bucket hat from Adventure, I think?
From 02.
See, I think of that as a Gilligan hat, not a bucket. Oh,
At least
Gilligan.
around here, they're always just kind of called bucket hats.
Yeah. Then someone said, any snacks or treats you haven't had in a long time that you miss?
Hmm.
See, it's weird. When I was thinking about this after I got it, it's like you won't have something for years, and then you'll look it up, and then it'll be Sato's discontinued, even though you hadn't had it in years and years and years.
Mine is definitely fudge from the Fudge Kitchen in New Jersey, just because, like, it's a pain in the ass to get to, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I don't have any. I can't think of any snacks that I haven't had.
I keep thinking
that I have that aren't like easily like I could probably just go get them anytime I want.
Yeah, I keep trying to think of stuff that's discontinued, like the stuff that,
I have
like,
to drive to the seashore.
you know what I liked that actually does not exist anymore. You guys know the brand that does the Pirates booty?
Yeah.
They used to have a snack called Tings. I think I've mentioned them before, where they're basically Cheetos without the cheese. It's like a corn it's like a corn curl, but without the cheese, but like crunchy, like a crunchy Cheeto. But like they taste abnormally clean because there's no cheese to it.
Yeah.
And
those sound good actually.
So they stopped selling them out here, and then when I went to look a year or two later, I found out why. The company was bought, and the company that bought them discontinued everything that was not Pirates Booty related.
Fuck bastards.
Yeah, it was literally like crunchy Cheetos without the cheese, but like they're only flavored with salt, so they had like a really weird corn taste that you don't get in snacks. Because even like basic corn chips tend to have some like seasoning or texture given to them, and these were just Cheetos by themselves, and it was very strange, but I actually really liked them.
Now I lament that I never got to try them.
Yeah, I'd give that a whirl, even though I like hate Pirates Booty, but
yeah, Pirates Booty is just my example because that's the company, but it's
Yeah,
not.
I know.
It's not like the soft Pirates Booty. They were literally like the same texture as a Cheeto, just without cheese. And I never knew how to explain them. It was just like a corn taste, but weirdly clean. But yeah, last chance for chat. And then someone wants to know, do you prefer happy endings? And this is an interesting question.
This is an interesting question.
Because do you prefer happy endings? Yes, but you can't appreciate a happy ending if they're all happy.
Yeah.
Like
I appreciate a satisfying ending.
Yeah, I'm ambivalent, honestly, to happy endings.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get a happy ending, I want them to be well.
Although I will say, there's one time there's a movie where it looks like it's gonna end happy, and I realized what was happening, and when it happened, I started like madman cackling in the theater.
Was it Cabin in the Woods?
No, it was the second Ant-Man movie. Everything ends happy.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one. Yeah.
Everything ends super happy.
Yeah.
And then it shows them all being a family and doing stuff together, and there's like no reason for the scene to exist. And in my head, I go, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. And clearly, the entire theater doesn't. They're like enraptured watching this family scene. And then Scott's on the radio and no one's answering him. And it goes back to everyone, and you just see black ash in the wind.
Got Thanos snapped.
And yes, and I started fucking cackling because I saw it coming. I had to have seemed like a sociopath because
that's That's interesting that no one else in the theater had that reaction, because I did watch that, and yes, I had that same. I knew what was happening as
Yes,
the scene started. Like, oh, here it is.
yes,
Okay,
like
because I was waiting for it the whole. I was waiting for it to kick in the whole.
yeah, because I think what happened was like people were like, "Oh, Scott was so down the whole movie, and here we see him happy. He's put his family, his erstwhile family
Yeah.
back together. He's
Yep.
trusted. He's, being Ant-Man. He's
Mm-hmm. He has a
discovering stuff."
companion
And then
now. Yeah.
and then the camera goes
And
back
now
to them,
he's
and it's just ash blowing in the wind. I
Yeah.
fucking lost it because
Yeah.
that is 100% not a happy ending. I prefer happy endings for
Well,
stuff like that, but like I fucking
that
lost it.
one's perfect. It's perfect because the movie proper has a happy ending, but the continuity adds
Yes.
that twist to it, which
Yeah.
is lovely because it's like the movie itself is a happy ending and a
Yes.
well-earned happy ending, but then, to get it towards Endgame,
Yes.
it does
Yeah.
that. It's like, okay, beautiful. Love it.
Yeah.
No
But
notes.
but yeah, it's sort of
I
like it's sort of okay. I think Kazuna is a good example. If Kazuna had had a generic happy ending, I
no,
don't think it would have been as
no.
interesting. Because
No, because the
because here
whole thing with Kazuna is that there is a like it is clear through the whole run that Taichi is there is a cost to what Taichi is doing.
yes.
Like that has to be reinforced. That has to be paid.
But here's the other thing. One, we know the epilogue happens. So we know it ends up okay, whether we find out how or not. And two, we're told in the movie there is a loophole to this. It's just a matter of he can't tell them because it's something they have to discover for themselves, which means we know what it is. It's them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the point. Is and like that's the weird thing is for all we know, the O2 movie could end exactly the same. Is the Digimon getting fried?
Hmm.
Like we don't know if this is the end of the journey or if this is another step. If now, to be fair, if this is the step, I would very much like number 3 to be the end, at least
Yeah,
of
for
this
sure.
specific story. I don't
Yeah.
need like because like if you're doing a third movie and you zap the O2 Digimon the second, I don't know what the third one's about. Like if that's
Hmm.
not the adventure to get the Digimon back, that's the one where you
Yeah.
need the happy ending.
Yeah. Also, it's like you ended Kazuna this way. I don't need this one ending that same
See,
way.
I'm trying to decide if I think the O2 movie will end that way, and then you get an
I
adventure film as the finale.
I don't see then that's a problem for with this movie because then this is just then you can't appreciate this movie for what it is. It's just
No,
the middle part.
I don't even necessarily see it as the middle part. I see it as the second beginning of the story because you have it happen to the adventure kids, you can have it happen to the O2 kids, and then the third one is the meeting in the middle to fix the problem. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how it ends if it's done well. If it's done well, we could say we don't want them to do X or we want them to do Y. And if the movie is done well, we'll probably be happy either way.
Yeah.
But
The it's just the same. Like if that's how this movie ends, it's the same ending as Kazuna, and I don't like that. That's
I
my
would hope
big issue
if
with it.
they do it, I would hope there's some twist to it that isn't just. I don't want it to be Daisuke standing in front of a lake, Ken standing
Hmm.
wherever the hell Yamato was. I don't remember where he was.
Yeah. I guess I like a variety of
No,
endings.
I would
You
too.
need to mix it up. It needs to be appropriate to what it is. And I really
It
do like
also
the
there's also
I like the happy ending with a little bit of with if you sacrificed something tangible.
I think
Those are probably
I
my
think
favorite.
the issue with doing it with the second movie is I think it would have worked if they didn't have done it in Kazuna because the issue is we've seen this with the Adventure Kids before. Like
Yeah.
at the end of
Yeah.
Adventure, they say goodbye. At the beginning of
Hmm.
Try, they're sad because they're gone. So in the case of Hikari and Takaru, they've done this multiple times. You could actually do it with the O2 kids, and you haven't shown it with them before. But now that we've already had it, like you said, if they do it, I need there to be a twist.
Yeah.
Like I would love if they frame the ending the same, and then Daisuke turns around and Veemon's still there.
I mean, given the theming they have is that giving the theming that we had from previews and stuff, the way to accomplish that is just sever the idea of human Digimon bonds completely at the end of the movie. Like that whole thing just shuts down entirely.
I
Like
don't see.
everybody,
I'm trying to
it's
decide.
over for
I'm trying to
everybody.
decide how I feel like that works with the epilogue, because I feel like
Hmm.
I mean, then
the epilogue left a lot to the imagination that you can do, is what I will say.
yeah, I mean they've been kind of hinting at the epilogue may not be so relevant nowadays. Like they're kind
Although
of
I will say
they're
that,
whistling a little bit.
although I will say this, the ultimate cheat to the epilogue, and it's what no one ever mentions, is Takaru actually does say they had other adventures.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like they actually literally say other enemies appeared. It was not just X years and everything was perfect. Shit went wrong. So we will
Yeah.
see. But yeah, I like happy endings personally. It depends what they are. Like, and sometimes you get a happy ending where it's not necessarily. It's weird. Like you can have a happy ending where like stuff doesn't work out.
Yeah,
Like think of
bittersweet endings
like
are my.
like think
I think the
like
bittersweet ones are my
like
favorite.
think of endings to stuff like a Cheers or a Mash. Those are those are bittersweet
Is
happy endings. Like,
Mash a happy ending?
well, no, I mean in the sense of everything's over, everyone gets to go home, everyone's happy they get to go home, but
Hmm.
all the horrible stuff that happens in the finale kind of puts a bad taste in everyone's mouth, is what I mean.
Hmm.
Like that was the goal for
Fair enough.
all.
No innocent bystanders in hell.
Yeah, that was like the goal for all these characters was to get out of there, to get home, to go back. And the problem is they're leaving, and that's not really the point anymore. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's they're leaving. They don't know what they're going back to or even who they are at this point. That makes it bittersweet. Except for Mulcahy, who ends up in the TV show Aftermath, and I think they fix his ears. Oh, and the best ending part of MASH, Klinger stays in Korea.
So for everyone who had money down on mentioning Aftermash in this podcast, that's got to be a long shot paying off.
Hey, someone in Vegas is mad they didn't place that bet.
I mean, at this point, Garfield's even money, so you gotta go
Yeah,
with big bucks.
Yeah, you can't bet on Garfield. Is like it'll go like putting black
It's
on
a free
roulette.
space on the with the will bingo card.
Yeah. To be fair, we also talked about people being weird and horny earlier, which feels like it's the other free space on the bingo card.
Just about. I don't think we get to quite every episode on that one.
No. So
That's betting on first
yeah.
thirds, maybe.
So the happy ending thing will be more interesting to talk about when we know how the movie ends.
I mean, I want to see it before I know how it ends, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's a coin flip. Because I still remember with Kazuna, there was a huge group of people who were very upset and thought that like me making sure spoilers weren't on the side of the screen. It's like, no, motherfuckers, I see them whether I remove them and tell you not to do it or not. I already know what's happening. It's not for me, it's for everyone else. I already,
Yeah.
like, at one point, me and AR were talking about everything we had seen and constructing the story to ourselves, and we were like 95% correct.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
It
basically,
was annoying.
just from gleams of stuff, we knew most of. We didn't know little details throughout, but we knew nothing was hidden. We knew by the time I knew before I would have seen it in theaters if we'd seen the screening. I think AR lasted another few weeks because he was able to just dodge stuff.
I was very good at dodging up until a certain point, yeah.
Yeah, but it's sort of like I wasn't posting images of Morphomon on the forum. If I did, it was blocked by spoiler stuff that you had to click on. But even that, like, it's not like. Do you think I'm posting Morphomon images and I don't understand the context of having to read an article to tell you who it is?
Right.
I already know. I'm not blocking them for myself. And then, AR, what have you been up to and what shall you be up to?
I think there's a couple things on Tumblr I can probably get to this week. We'll see.
Pimp
There's stuff I
something.
have. Yeah, there's something.
What
There's
what
something.
what
There's
what
stuff
will
I
you
have
be
to be
answering,
doing.
AR? Pimp ahead of time so they will be
Oh,
tempted to go and
so
go.
actually look at what I need to do. What did I get? I got some fun ones here. Oh, that one's it. Oh, these are dumb questions.
Tease the one that's most likely to get people to go to your Tumblr.
The one that somebody is wanted me to follow up on is how each team is. I wrote something a while ago about how each team would react if they had a villain like Kurata in the series, and they wanted me to follow up with, okay, how would the kids react to it? How would the Ghost Game kids react to a Kurata style villain? So I might answer that one.
Okay,
And
I just want to say, scrolling through your blog, you not retweeted, but what's it called on Tumblr?
Reblogging.
reblog.
The same meme art showed up on Twitter, and everyone fucking loved the meme through the years thing.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, whether you pull it up, it's easiest to see on AR's Tumblr rather than finding it on Twitter. That was such an amazing series of art. I fucking love that. Like I was scrolling through your thing, looking at what.
The amazing thing is there's more Mimi outfits that they didn't
Oh,
have. It's ridiculous.
there's tons they didn't show. Especially
There's like 12 or 16 on there, and there's even like she had even more outfits in
most of the
Zero
ones.
Two and Try.
Yeah, O2 and Try. She had enough. I will say I love how the last two O2 ones, which are down with the Try ones, it's the movie 3 and movie 4 outfits,
Mm-hmm.
which you almost don't notice at first because like they look different. But yeah, it was a great series of art. There's been a lot of good Digimon art lately.
Yeah, her movie 3 outfit doesn't get enough attention.
Well, because it's basically
one
thought of
underrated.
as, oh, it's her normal outfit, just different colors, and the hair's not pink.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. And Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
Because I'm so proud of him this month, Shakuamon.
Aww.
Look, he got a poster. He's on the
Little calendar
wallpaper.
thing.
Yeah.
He's apparent. I really want to imagine what Shakuamon X looks like. Like, how do you make that pointy?
You know what I think you would do for Shakuamon X, honestly? I think you would give him a stone finish instead of a metal finish.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Doesn't that feel like what it should be? Like, I don't know the
Yeah.
actual design you would pick, but I feel like you'd
Oh,
want it to look like
it
the
should.
actual stone statues he's
Like
based
the
on.
Yeah.
Digimon pottery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would want it to be a stone finish instead of a metal finish, is where I think.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. But
Okay.
pointier, of course.
Yeah, so I expect we will catch you guys in 2 weeks. It feels like at some point in the next month and a half, we'll probably have an extra episode somewhere because at some point it'll be like, there's 10 pop-up. You know what the weird thing is? We may not get the deluge of pop-up shops this time because a lot of those chains have closed.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Like, look, the music. I won't miss the music cafe for one reason. The music cafe is the one where they had that really horrible looking blue curry.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, but
I want to assess someone terrible drinks and eats at least
hey,
one
you'll
before.
get to remember they're doing the Caritas karaoke.
Okay, that's right.
Caritas is where they did like, here's hot tea and there's a strawberry in it, and here's coffee and there's a single marshmallow.
Here's some random drink with blue curacao in it for no reason.
Yes, but yeah, so we will definitely get to do that. It might not be next time, but it'll be soon enough. Don't worry, AR, your dream will come true.
Yay.
We will catch you guys next time. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.